Well, they have.
Thank you. Much better. Well, good afternoon. Thanks so much for everybody for joining us this afternoon. And what a blessed day it is with this great weather, particularly for those of us that are under the tent. After the remarks here, we'll hear from a few folks. We'll then have the ceremony of shovel groundbreaking, and then Buck and I believe Honey's. Has anybody been to Buck and Honey's? Okay. So that's kind of our post-game retreat. So the more succinct, I guess I could indicate to all speakers we can be, the sooner we're at Buck and Honey's. So it's just kind of an objective to keep in mind. Well, we're just delighted to have everybody here for the groundbreaking for Kollege Town Sports, a division of Riddell. This soon-to-be-built beautiful facility will house their sales, their operations, production, and warehousing for the apparel line, and also host creative support for the production of fan-active products. So it's a project that will be about 102,000 square feet for those who care about such metrics, on about 13 acres. So it's an exciting project, and again, we appreciate everybody being here. My name is Brendan Kelly. I'm a principal with Davis & Young out of Chicago. We're the commercial real estate group that helped, had the privilege of advising Kollege Town and Riddell on this great project, along with a couple of my other colleagues, Mike Tenuta and Dan Fasig, who I think are somewhere, there they are. We appreciate that. Also, we'll shortly introduce the entire project team, who are also responsible for this great facility. We would like to acknowledge a few guests. I'm going to mention a couple, and then Neil Schulte. Neil, how did I do on last name? So pretty good. I'm actually half German, so it comes natural to me, aside from the German here as well. But with that, a couple of fun guests that we have here today. First, we have Ken Robeck from ESPN, who's been a great supporter of Kollege Town over the years. So, round of applause, please, for Ken. And then also, it's really not that big a deal, but this other gentleman won the Heisman Trophy in 1999, and actually still holds the record for the all-time college rushing record for NC2A. And for those of you who might be Badger fans or, of course, college football fans, I give you Ron Dane. Ron's been a big supporter and friend of the Hanlons and in Kollege Town Sports. And so Neil is going to come up here and also recognize a number of the very other public officials that we have with us today. Again, thanks so much for everybody's turnout.
Thank you, Brendan. Thank you, everyone, for being out here in Sun Prairie today. We'd like to say that especially thanks to the Riddell marketing team for all the work they did in getting this put together today. Very much appreciated. It's always fun when we just get together, come and be a part of it, and not have to organize it all. So thanks for all your work. We'll claim that we were in charge of the weather today, but that's fine. Just a few, want to recognize a few folks who are here today. Senator Mark Miller, who you'll be hearing some comments from. From Congressman Mark Buchanan's office, just came in here a little bit ago. She's here somewhere. Adam Gallagher from Dane County is our Dane County Treasurer. He's actually also on our TIF District Joint Review Board that helped make this project possible. George Hidalgo, our Chamber President, is here and back here. Thank you for being here. Nancy Anderson is our school work coordinator representing Sun Prairie School District today. Thank you. Last but not least, my bosses, who are several are here today. Mayor Paul Esser. Council President Al Guyan is here. There he is sitting there. Thank you. Other alders who are here today, Steve Stocker. Thank you, Steve. Maureen Crombie. Would like to make one last couple people. Clint Fry was representing WPPI Energy, our power provider here, which is making us a competitive community. And then last but not least, I missed Mary. I'm sorry. Mary Gage, sorry, or Mary Linsky, sorry. Mary Al's also one of my elders, sorry, so I missed one. I'll hear about that later, I'm sure. And then Mary Gage from the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation is back over there in the corner there. So thank you all for being here.
Great, thank you, Neil. I remember when we had our first meeting with Neil, it was actually at Starbucks, not too far from here. And he wasn't quite sure if we were for real or not, but it worked out real well. So Neil, thanks again for all your help. But we began our work with Kollege Town in Riddell in November, and since then we've really accomplished great things with all our great partners' help. We have now evaluated numerous sites throughout this region and outside the region. Hundreds of designs and revisions completed by our architectural partners from Heitman Architects. I don't know if we have, there's Emerald, Mark in the background there, thank you. Also extensive conversations, discussions with local, regional, and state officials represented by our state incentives partners, incentives group, Larry Kramer and Jessica Thompson. Many iterations of construction analysis by Sullivan Design Build, led by Mandy Stark, John Riley, and Jill Riley, who I think are, I know are in the house because they built the house that we're in. And then many meetings with Mayor Esser and his terrific team, including Aaron Oppenheimer, Neil, who you met, Scott Kugler, Council President Al Guyan, just to name a few, along with their great city council. So, Mr. Mayor, you have a great team, and again, we thank you for all your support. And then batting cleanup and providing countless hours of expert guidance in putting this all together was our development partner for the project, Skinnout Properties, led by Bill Linville and project manager Kevin C. Bill, and we'll hear a little bit from Bill here to follow. And of course, none of this happens without a terrific client. Our team is proud and privileged to represent a really iconic brand in American sports, Riddell, and now with Kollege Town Sports as their apparel division. Dan Orman and Tom Hamlin, you all have tremendous teams, and thrilled to work with them. So hats off to your team. Locally, Kollege Town and Riddell, the effort to make this project happen and all its late night hour calls and so forth was led by Frank Turk with Riddell. And Frank, where's Frank? Oh, there he is, right there. And his team, including Bobby Kittleson and John Hamlin, along with many other terrific folks. My understanding, the commute for Bobby and John will be shorter to this location. However, Dan, I can assure you that it had no basis. Yeah, I'm aware of it. Really, actually, the center of gravity was Buck and Honey's. And other than that, it was a very complicated, empirical, data-driven process. Additionally, Jean James, who is the Vice President of Global Manufacturing, is the key executive in charge of manufacturing globally for Riddell. John? And then, of course, Allison Boersma, who's the Chief Financial and Operating Officer at Riddell. Allison provided executive oversight on the project, advocacy all the way through. Allison, again, your thoughtful leadership, decisive decision-making continues to be a source of great energy. Projects of this caliber do not happen without a great executive leadership. And Allison, you certainly delivered on all accounts. Once again, thank you. This is a great day for Wisconsin, Dane County, and Sun Prairie. In a few short months, we look forward to this beautiful state-of-the-art facility that'll be right here behind us with 150 employees and growing. The facility actually was designed with the ability to be able to expand by about another 35%. And we'll be supplying literally millions of athletes and fans with cutting-edge apparel and fat active products. So with that, we have a program, and for starters, we'd love to bring up Mayor Esser from Sun Prairie for a few words.
Thank you, everybody, for being in Sun Prairie today. We are excited about this project. This has come together so quickly, it is almost beyond imagination. It seems like it was 6 months ago I first met some people that were here talking about a project in Sun Prairie with Riddell that may eventually be 300 employees. And we hear about things like that from time to time, and then we never hear about them again. So we just don't think a whole lot of it until more develops. And lo and behold, this kept developing and kept developing. And the Riddell and the Kollege Town Sports people kept coming back to us, and we would talk different alternatives and different pieces and different scopes and different levels of involvement. And before we knew it, we were at the point where we were prepared to conclude it. And here we are. That was not long ago. Aaron, what do you think? 6 weeks ago we were doing that, and here we are. And I live not far from here, just a little further east. I come down the main road you came down quite often. I had no idea they had already begun working on this site. And then I get here, and my goodness, there's dirt moved, the soybeans are gone, things are happening. So that tells me we are working with a company that has a plan, both in Riddell and Kollege Town Sports. They have a plan, they have an exciting story. And Sun Prairie has an exciting story. This is a city that is growing at 1,000 people a year now. There are businesses coming in, we're building hundreds of apartments. This is a town with a future, and it's matching up with a company with a future. We think this is a long-term opportunity that is going to benefit both of us, and we are so pleased that you have chosen Sun Prairie. And it is so amazing to see all the people here. Oftentimes, Mark and Gary, you can agree with me, oftentimes we come to do a groundbreaking, we don't know what we're getting in for. There will be 10 people here. And we come here, there's Dan from ESPN Sports, but there's Ron Dane. And in Wisconsin, it does not get any better than Ron Dane. Ron, I'm so glad you're out here with us. This was going to be a great day without you, but you're the topic. So thank you, everybody, for being here, and thank you, Riddell and Kollege Town Sports. We're pleased to have you here. It's going to be an excellent future for both of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On the state of Wisconsin front, in a moment I'll introduce and bring up Senator Mark Miller, who's the senator for the 16th District, which is where we're residing here in Sun Prairie. Senator Miller has been in office since 2004. Actually grew up in the district here as well, so it's certainly a hometown event for the senator. So, Senator, if you would mind joining us, we sure appreciate it.
It's a great pleasure to be here. In order to keep the speeches short, I'm speaking together with Gary Hebel, who's been doing a great job on behalf of the community of Sun Prairie. And, Dane County has been responsible for over half of the new private sector jobs in the entire state of Wisconsin. And a large part of that is due to the work of public officials like Paul and the city council, and the work here is you have all contributed to this growth in Dane County. And so this is just another example of, as Kollege Town Sports and Riddell partnership had new opportunities, that they would seek out Sun Prairie and find that this was the appropriate place for them to expand. Of course, I'm old enough to have known both Alan Amici, the first Heisman Trophy winner, and now Ron Dane, another one. Two great traditions for Wisconsin, and it's so nice to have you here. And I just want to extend my congratulations and thanks. Congratulations to the City of Sun Prairie, congratulations to Kollege Town Sports, and to Riddell for the new partnership that is going to help bring so many new jobs to the state of Wisconsin and to this county and to this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator, and thank you to the state of Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Economic Development Authority, for all their great support for this project. Next, we'd like to bring up in order kind of the big cheeses, if you will, the bosses. To start with, I'll give a brief introduction here, but is Tom Hanlon, who's the president of Kollege Town. Tom's the creative genius dating back to about the early 1990s that is behind this effort that we'll see here in a few months. Tom has a distinction that's kind of interesting in that was inducted into the Wisconsin Football Coaches Hall of Fame in 2004, and also in the Basketball College Hall of Fame here in Wisconsin as a recipient for the Dave McLean Service Award. So in that, it's interesting that Tom shares a common heritage with Vince Lombardi, who aside from his great football career, also coached St. Cecilia's High School to a state basketball championship in northern New Jersey many years ago. So on behalf of Lombardi, Hanlon Family Tradition, Tom, if you would come up and join us, we appreciate it.
Thank you very much for that introduction. There's just a couple things I'd like to say, and one of them just came up. Seeing Nancy Everson here. You probably remember chasing down our kids in the hallways at Sun Prairie High School, right? So that's an interesting note. Also, just to keep the record straight, Tarek Sala will always be my Heisman Trophy winner. We love Ron, and Ron knows that, and we love Tarek a lot as well. The only real point that I want to make here is this is full circle for the Hanlon family, our employees, everybody that's been involved from the beginning to the end. We moved here, we started here, my kids grew up here, they went to school here. We grew the business, and one of the main reasons I'm standing here right now is because of a gentleman that's in the crowd here, Marv Siegert's, sitting right over there. Marv came along, a friend of Tarek's, and looked at our company and decided that we were investable, jumped on board with us and helped us get through about 6 or 7 of the toughest years we've ever had. And quite frankly, if it wasn't for Marv doing that, we probably wouldn't be here today even doing this. So Marv, thanks for that. The last thing I'll say is that this is going to be some very, very exciting times for our people, Riddell, our whole operation, and with the help of Sun Prairie, this building, the sky's the limit, so we're ready to get after it. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Tom. Congratulations on a wonderful story and a wonderful family. We've been pleased to work with a number of them on the project. Next, I'd like to give a brief introduction to Dan Arment. Dan is the President and CEO of Riddell and also BRG Sports. Dan's been part of that organization dating back about 15 years, despite his youthful appearance. Dan joined the Riddell side of the house in about 2008, but the true foundation of his current successful leadership of Riddell is he was a Division I football player at Colgate and played outside linebacker, which is a position that requires speed and ability to hit hard, which is rather perfect for his current role at Riddell and over Kollege Town Sports apparel. As a matter of fact, this is just being announced exclusively right now, but Ron Dane and Dan are going to square off in a Okie grill. That's after 3 pitchers of beer, but no sooner than that. But with that, Dan, if you could please join us, and congratulations, Dan, for everything you've done.
Okay, as you can see, I have 2 pages of notes, which might give you the thought that I'm not going to be clear and concise like the rest of the speakers have been. But if you look at the font, which you can probably read from there, you see there's really not that much here. So I promise again to be quick. Let me start first of all from thanking Tom and the Hanlon family and the whole Kollege Town team for their great partnership. We've been together less than a year now, and we're really starting to see a lot of really exciting things happen. Obviously, with with the groundbreaking here. It's one of them. But there's many more things in the business that really make us encouraged and let us know that we've made a great partnership here. I'd also like to extend my appreciation to the rest of the team, our partners in this project, and the public officials that have contributed to our being here today. This is actually the second groundbreaking for Riddell this summer that I've had the pleasure of attending. And when you're building 2 facilities in 1 year, that either says your business is really good or you're a little bit nuts. It may be both cases in this instance, but things are, our plan is coming together, and we're very excited about the opportunities. In July, we broke ground on a new facility in Ohio, which is our primary location for our core protective equipment business, licensed collectibles, and for distribution. Equally as important is the operational footprint we're putting here in Sun Prairie. As Tom said, we're investing in a new facility. It's a critical step for our success here at Kollege Town, and there's a lot of dynamics happening in the marketplace that really says that our plans are on target for some really exciting stuff. The Kollege Town business plays a key role in Riddell's overall growth strategy. The team's leadership in apparel and strong customer relationships makes it a perfect fit and a valuable asset for Riddell. And we've worked together with the team to expand our product offering, and we really feel that the capabilities that are here with the Kollege Town team can be scaled across the nation for us and really add a formidable combination of competitive attributes for our company. And again, this facility, we believe, will help us reach our full potential. I want to also extend special thanks to our key investors, both Fenway Partners and Ontario Teachers Pension Plan. They've been with us for a long time and have been very, very instrumental in the growth of the core Riddell business and in our initiatives to expand our business and partner with Kollege Town. So I'm looking forward to more visits to the area and to Sun Prairie. And thank you for your support and for coming out today. We're really excited about what's happening here. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. So we're all familiar with Sports Center and the top 10 plays and so forth, but it's interesting, this facility on the industrial side here in Sun Prairie is the largest project that's happened in Sun Prairie, and I think I'm not sure where Neil is, either 12 or 15 years. So it also has the advantage from an economic development perspective of not taxing the school infrastructure, because we're bringing workers, not school kids. So it's a great thing in that respect to help fund the overall infrastructure. But a team like this, really a championship caliber team, has to have a quarterback. In this case, it's Skinnell Properties, who's the developer that will own the property and is overseeing the overall project and its development. The leader of Skinnell is the Executive Vice President, Bill Linville. Skinnell Properties is one of the larger build-to-suit developers in the country. Maybe has approximately $850 million worth of projects underway around the country. Customers, in addition to Kollege Town Riddell, include FedEx, Kendall Jackson, I guess that's on the Spirit side, General Electric, among others. So they're really a first-class organization, have had great resiliency and entrepreneurship in helping us put together both projects, most importantly including here in Sun Prairie. So Bill, with that, if I could bring you up, I'd sure appreciate it.
Thank you, Brandon. Well, it's an honor to be here, and I thank you, and I want to thank Riddell and the Kollege Town team for giving us the opportunity to work with them. One would have been a pleasure, two's a real honor, and we're just thrilled to be a part of this. My partners and I have been together for a little over 30 years, which I think in and of itself says something when people can trust each other with their gold bags for 30 years. And we've always tried to build our business on delivering everything we say we'll do, if not more, and making it a pleasant experience so the customer wants to do more business with us. It's evidenced by the fact that we're on about our 100th transaction with FedEx. That is pretty demanding. I want to say though that business can sometimes get a little contentious. It's been far from that with College Town and the Riddell team. And I personally want to thank Allison and Frank and John and Bobby for that. They're very thorough, very disciplined thinkers in the way they process their business, but it's been a pleasure. And I think we've worked through some very difficult things in very short periods of time, and everybody's kept their cool, and I think we're enjoying working together. I know my team certainly is. And Brendan thanked a lot of people. He kind of stole my thunder. I learned a long time ago in business, if somebody says everything and you have agreement, sit down and be quiet. But I do want to give a special thanks also to the Sullivan design team. We brought them into this. I think there were periods of time when they were flying blind. They weren't sure exactly how this was all going to come together, but they met every challenge, and they've just been a pleasure to work with and executing extremely well. There are a couple other people that Brendan didn't mention. We've had a very good local council, Mike Lawton, who's been very instrumental, and then Quam Engineering that we brought in to do the civil has been great. So the last thing I'll say, and Tom, this might be an idea for a new product. This project is gratifying to me because growing up in Indianapolis in the heart of the city by the 500-mile track, I longed for open space, and as a kid I used to come up and fish with some relatives in Wisconsin, so I fell in love with Wisconsin. We've only ever done one other project up in Wausau, but I've always loved Wisconsin, and probably there was a poetic irony in the fact that my oldest son married a girl from Green Bay. So now we are Packer fans. I hope I don't offend anybody in that. And I didn't know this, but my grandchildren, they have every item of clothing has Packer logos on it, even diapers. I didn't know that.